Been here for a long time. You stay there, Deanna. I'll be right back. John, maybe I'll close the doors on my way out because there's a lot of activity going on in there. I'm ready. Roll 'em. Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Visalia, California. I'm Reverend Nan Bankston. I'm so happy to welcome you to our meditation time. This is the time when everybody in the sanctuary and at home gets to spend some time communing with the divine within and just relaxing with an affirmation. And today's affirmation, as you go into your meditation, I invite you to take this thought while Kevin plays beautiful music. I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good. I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good. And I'll be back at 10:15 to welcome you back. Thank you, Kevin, for that beautiful music. And I just want to welcome everybody back here in the sanctuary from your meditation, and for all of you who are at home or wherever you may be during our virtual service. You know, this is the time now at 10:15 to 10:30 that we have our meet and greet here in the sanctuary. Folks are going to be coming in and getting ready for the service at 10:30. I encourage you, if you're at home or wherever you may be, to just get yourself a beverage and a snack and be ready. We have a wonderful service planned for you today. So we will see you at 10:30. There.
Now a brief intermission in which the Campbell kids discover that Mother knows best.
Good. Johnny came calling one Sunday. The girl of his dreams was so sweet. She served him some wonderful dishes, but he found the meal incomplete.
No soup?
Good day, Irene, good day. Goodbye, he sighed. To get the punch of soup for lunch,
I'll seek another bride.
oh, what a wailing and sighing.
Oh, what shall I do, Mother dear? Just reach for some soup from the soup shelf. You'll soon have your Johnny back here.
Did someone say soup?
Soup and a salad delicious. Soup and a sandwich is great. Soup for lunch is nutritious.
Yes, you are my favorite date.
Now they're a family, one happy bunch, and every day you'll hear them say,
Let's have soup for lunch. Good.
How's this for lunch or light supper tomorrow? Lean, tender pieces of beef, plus juicy golden egg noodles and rich, full-flavored beef stock. That's Campbell's Beef Noodle Soup, a grand lunch or light supper.
When an early autumn walks the land and chills the breeze and touches with her hand the summer trees, perhaps you'll understand what memories I own. There's a dance pavilion in the rain, all shuttered down a winding country lane, all russet brown, a frosty window pane shows me a town grown lonely. That spring of ours that started so April-hearted seemed made for just a boy and girl. I never dreamed that you, any fall could come in view so early. Darling, if you care, please let me know. I'll meet you anywhere. I miss you so. Let's never have to share
when the golden leaves are falling down the lane I used to know. My heart is longing for the days gone by. The woodland trails are calling back the scenes of long ago, where we wandered neath the bare October sky. I can hear the brook that's flowing by the pathway through the dell. I wish that I could be there once again, where the songbirds in the treetops sing to me their last farewell, when the golden leaves were falling down the lane. When the golden leaves are falling, then my memory always strays to scenes of woodland dells and glistening streams. Oh, the sadness and the gladness of those dear forgotten days, when the leaves were falling down the trail of dreams. Once when golden leaves were falling round the schoolhouse in the dell, we roamed the woods, my childhood love and I. Hand in hand we strolled together o'er the glades we loved so well. There alone we watched the sunsets fade and die. But the angels up in heaven, searching for a flower fair, saw my darling smile as pure as autumn rain. Neath the sycamore we left her with a soft and tender prayer, when the golden leaves were falling down the lane. When the golden leaves are falling, then my memory always strays to scenes of woodland dells and glistening streams. Oh, the sadness and the gladness of those near forgotten days, when the golden leaves were falling down the lane. When the golden leaves are falling, then my memory always strays to scenes of woodland dells and glistening streams. Oh, the sadness and the gladness of those near forgotten days, when the golden leaves were falling down the lane.
Oh, it's a long, long while from May to December, but the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for the waiting game. Oh, the days dwindle down
kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs are never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy, and hate. Woman needs man, and man must have his mate that no one can deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs are never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy, and hate. Woman needs man, and man must have its mate that no one can deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
Old Father Time checked so there'd be no doubt. Called down the north wind.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and the bees. I need the money. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh, that's what I want. That's what I want. Woo. Your love gives me such a thrill, but your love, it don't pay my bills. I need the money. What I want, that's what I want. 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 That's what I want.
Oh, my goodness. We are so blessed with the music here. It's so much fun. And money? Oh, well, that's what we all want, isn't it? Well, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Visalia. I'm Nan Bankston. I'm the senior minister here, soon to be virtual minister, flying in on Zoom every week to talk to you while the center is happening here and everywhere out there in virtual land. So, this week I am pleased to welcome back Leonard, who's been gone for some time. And welcome back, Leonard. His wife was a practitioner in training here some years ago, and she has made her transition and is flying around out there doing all sorts of wonderful things in spirit. And David, welcome. You're a first-time visitor here, I think, and it's lovely to have you here. So I think that is the rest of our welcome. And now we're going to do our announcements. Donna, do you have anything? There you are. Good.
You've heard them before, but one more time.
One more time.
Let's go to our first slide. This Friday is First Friday, which means it's our art show, and it's our annual members and friends show. So we've been getting some more art. I see some more coming in today. That one that you see on the far right, on the bottom, it looks like Native American hieroglyphics, but it's not. Steve Kinshu told me, you'll understand when you see it. They're already in the back corner. Go check them out and see what they're actually made of. They're fascinating. We have paintings, art, drawings, collage, and so come. We're also going to be making, you've heard this 100 times, we're making more cranes. We've got to finish our crane project so we can get the rest of our grant money. So you know that most of our cranes that we hung have been stolen. We're going to try again. Put them out in the trees. If they don't stay this time, we're going to hang them in the window. So we'll have something. But we'll have materials. We'll have the crane forms. So come and listen to Bruce who's going to play. Maybe Deanna will be here. We'll see. Rehearsing for Saturday. And it's going to be fun. So 5 to 8 this Friday, our new Members and Friends show. And we're excited to announce that the Marjorie Banyan show is sold out.
And so it is.
So we're going to have 90 people crammed in here, lounge style, around our little tables. And Deanna, Bruce, and Joe are going to perform. We're going to have a slideshow. And the only thing we need to get going here is our dessert auction. So we had a dessert auction when we used to do it at the hotel. And it was a big success. And so somebody said, let's bring that back. Plus, it's a fundraiser. So we need 2 more beautiful, wonderful desserts. And Clara is going to go around and find those 2 people today. Because at the middle of the event, we're going to break and say, okay, go look at the desserts, and then come back, and on the envelope in your table, fill it with money. And the table that puts the most money in the envelope gets first choice of the first dessert they want, and we'll go down the line. So if you've got a ticket, great, we'll see you then. If you don't, we'll see you at our next event. But please talk to Clara. Clara, wave your hand. She needs 2 more desserts. I know we have 2 more cooks in the area that can help. Okay, Reverend Nan.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Thanks, Donna. What else have we got up there? I think we've got something else. I don't know. We have things. Yes. On November 6th and 13th, they're making wreaths, and you can sign up. You can sign up to come, and you also can get a list of the things that you need to make the wreaths, and it's going to be a fun thing, and there'll be people making them, and the wreaths that you make are actually going to be sold. And that happens on the first Friday in December, that they'll be sold. That's what I thought. I'm getting mixed up in the months because November is just on Tuesday, and I've been waiting to see that happen, and then December, and it's like I don't know where time is. All righty, so just come and do that and have fun. And now the One Hope Choir is going to be rehearsing after service today, if anybody's here. And even if they aren't, she's going to be back in the back rehearsing. So get on with it. And the Explorers group meets next Sunday at 12:30. It'll be here in the center and on Zoom. And they're going to be talking about Christian nationalism and dominionism rising. It's a theocratic movement, and we explore a lot of things on the Explorers group. So I invite anybody with an open mind to consider the information and join in and have a good time with it. The book of the month for November is Braving the Wilderness, and it's a very, very interesting book. Our theme for November, and the magazines are on sale in the bookstore, our theme for November is home. And this book is about how to be at home in you, be your own home. And I think it's a very enlightening read. I know a lot of people have read Brene Brown here before, and I know that Bev Anderson has done a couple of workshops here with some of Brene Brown's work. And so I think you would enjoy it. We've got a couple of copies there in the wilderness, in the bookstore. And also there'll be a review of it in this month's newsletter. There you go. Next week, while I'm getting settled in Florida, Reverend Julie, who was our matchmaker for everything, is going to be here for a guest speaker. She'll be coming in over Zoom, so you'll be able to get used to that whole process again. And she'll be doing the talk next week, and she's just looking forward to being here as your speaker next week. So you'll enjoy her for sure. Of course, there'll be wonderful music. And then the following week, I'll be back on Zoom, and I'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff during the service, so it'll be like I'm right there anyway in your face, not to worry. We won't leave you hanging. So now we have our weekly inclusivity quote. And Bonnie Carlia chose our quote this week. The inclusivity team chooses a new quote every week that is inclusive, and also Matt kind of goes along with our theme. So this week's quote is from Deepak Chopra: "Giving and receiving are different expressions of the same flow of energy in the universe." Now the team meets on Monday afternoons at 2 o'clock. We may be changing that time on the following Monday. We're still out for consensus on that to 1 o'clock this time instead of 2. But we'll let you know next Sunday, so not to worry. You'll also be able to see the change on the website and be able to know what's happening there always and get onto the Zoom link through there. And now it's time for Janice to help us with our weekly affirmation and our opening treatment. Janice?
All right. I can see that I can hear that I am on, so. Okay, our affirmation is, I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good. Would you all please say that with me? I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good. And now if you would just close your eyes or soften your gaze, I will be very happy to do a treatment. I know that I do trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good because I am in Spirit and Spirit is in me. And what I know for myself, I know for each and every creature on this planet. And I know when I trust and when I believe and know that I am in that reciprocal flow, giving and taking good, peace, prosperity, all of those things, that I am truly helping create a better world for myself and for others. And I claim for each of us today that we remember that we are always in that infinite flow. And when we let go of the shore and we let God guide us, Spirit guide us, we open ourselves to a greater and greater expression of who we are. and a greater and greater life. I am so, so grateful to know this, to know that I and each of us have the power to create a world that works for us and for all living things. And we say together, and so it is.
Song, and our wonderful folks are going to sing. The band's going to play, and this is one that you get to sing, so you'll be able to see the words up here. It's a nice little song. You'll like it. It's easy to sing, and it's about being free. So, take it away.
There's a land that I see where the people are free, and I say it ain't far to this land from where we are. Take my hand, come with me, where the people are free. Come with me, take my hand, and we'll live in a land where the river runs free, in a land where the country, in a land to a shining sea. And you and me are free to be, you and me. I see a land bright and clear, and the time's coming near when we'll live in this land, you and me, hand in hand. Take my hand, come along, lend your voice to my song. Come along, take my hand, sing a song. For a land where the river runs free, for a land where the great country, for a land to a shining sea, for a land where the horses run free, and you and me are free to be, you and me. Every child in the land, may you all understand that you're proud and you're strong, and you're right where you belong. Take my hand, come with me, where the people are free. Come with me, take my hand, and we'll run to a land where the river runs free, to a land where the green country, to a land with the shining sea, to a land where the horses run free, to a land where the people are free, and you and me are free to be, and you and me are free to be, and you and me are free to be, you and me.
I tell you, we are so blessed to have such wonderful music here, and I want to just say that we have Kevin on the piano today, Josh is on the bass, Joey Hernandez is filling in for Joe Lazama, who's out running around the country as he does, and our two vocalists, Deanna and Hope, are singing, and Hope's daughter, Dawn, is also singing today for fun. So we are more than blessed today. Thank you so much. Dawn, by the way, has a lovely voice, just like her mama. So you'll be hearing her more, and she's part of the choir, and we have a bunch of people here who are part of the choir. So now you can blush and be happy, and it's all good. There you go. Good morning, and happy 5th Sunday in October. We're at the very end of October, And of course, tomorrow is Halloween, and all the kiddos everywhere are going to be out getting ready for trick or treat. They may do some today. I don't know how it works here. And that's a really interesting analogy as we bring this month's theme to a close, because we've been considering living everyday wonder with finances all month. So the question is this: are we treating ourselves to a wonderful relationship with the unlimited abundance and prosperity of our source? Or are we tricking ourselves into believing that prosperity and abundance only belong to others? We don't get any. We don't get that much. Well, perhaps inadvertently through our thoughts and actions, we could be restricting that infinite flow of abundance. I want to consider our progress this month and what we've reviewed when we look for answers to those questions. We started at the beginning of the month reviewing the 5 steps of our spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer, and aligning them with the prosperity concepts that we discussed every week. Now, by way of review, the first step we covered was recognizing that Spirit, God, Source, Universe, whatever we want to call it, it does not matter. Every name is good. Whatever is meaningful to us, that it is all that there is, whether it's God or Spirit or whatever. That's all there is. It is the source of creation, all abundance, and all prosperity. Now, in the second step, we align ourselves with that source, and we reiterate that we are always infinitely connected and inseparable from it. In the third step, on the third week, we realize that all inspiration and creative idea comes from Source in the form of spiritual prototypes. Now, these are already perfect templates or patterns of that which we desire to create that exist in divine intelligence, and we're simply waiting to be brought forward through our thoughts and words into manifestation. Last week, for the fourth step of our affirmative prayer, we offered thanksgiving for the infinite good that is always readily available to us when we open to receive. Gratitude is a really key element of our spiritual practices. It's the attitude of gratitude that lightens our hearts and our souls. And this week, step 5 is release. Now, when we have completed our prayer, we simply let it go into the active portion of Spirit, God, where it's already done, and we wait patiently for the physical manifestation. And the release part is really critical. Think of it this way. If we planted a seed, we would expect that seed to grow up exactly what that seed is supposed to be, right? And the seed is programmed with the DNA that's in it so that it produces whatever that seed is labeled to be. And we would let it process its growth according to the kind of seed that it is. We wouldn't be digging it up to see how it's doing, since that would certainly impair or terminate the growth process. Well, it's the same thing with our prayer process. We let go and we let God do the work. We don't keep digging our prayer up to see if it's working, right? Well, maybe. We have a persistent urge to do just that because we tend to be impatient. I'm not impatient, but I know some of us may be, but. Well, this week, we're going to experience that 5th step of release as it applies to releasing our grip on the divine flow in our lives. As we open to receive the greater flow, we more fully comprehend the reciprocal nature of the universe as one of constant giving and receiving. So I want to try a little experiment. This is so fun that Dr. Christian Sorensen at the Center for Spiritual Living in Encinitas recommends. Are you ready? This is so much fun. You don't have to exert yourself. I just want you to first take a really comfortable breath as deep as you can without any strain. Just take a nice deep breath, just comfortable. And then just notice for a minute how much air you actually inhaled. Did you notice that? Okay. Now, when you're ready, when you're breathing, you can go ahead and let that breath out if you haven't already. When you're breathing, with the next breath, take it in, and then when you exhale, push out all the air in your lungs as much as you can. Just take a nice breath and then let it all, push it out as far as you can. And then take in a deep breath And notice how much more air you inhaled this time. Do you see that you can't take in any more air until you actually exhale again? Kind of works that way, right? We can't be taken in until we let go of it. Well, claiming our abundance is a lot like that. If we continue to pour into a full glass, it just simply pours over and spills out of the glass, which shows us that something needs to be given out before more can be taken in. So if we could have that slide, Donna, for the quote that I'm going to use. This, as Dr. Holmes notes in The Science of Mind on page 243, he says, "Let your thought dwell not on breath nor lack of breath, but on that which breathes. Sense the freedom of this God life flowing in and through you." In spirituality, this is called the law of circulation. Giving and receiving are actually two sides of the same process. One is defined by the other. To receive more, you have to give more. To be able to give more, you have to receive more. Simple, isn't it? Dennis Merritt Jones writes in his book, The Art of Being, 101 Ways to Practice Purpose in Your Life. Herein lies the paradox. If you want more of whatever it is you desire, you have to first prove that you are capable of having it by developing a consciousness that affirms there is no shortage of it. And the only way to do this is by creating a vacuum of space for it to be received. And the only way you can create a space for it to be received is by letting go of what you've got and trusting that God, the universe, whatever we'd like to call it, knows exactly what it's doing. That is the law of circulation in action. So how do we get better at trusting and allowing ourselves to breathe in that abundance? Well, we attune ourselves to spiritual principles and begin practicing spiritual living as a regular way of life. Science of Mind is, after all, called a faith, a philosophy, and a way of life. Spiritual living is based on our ability to experience that divine presence, not our knowledge about it. We might be able to recite what John said about God being love, or Moses taught about the law, whatever that was, or even the New Thought philosophy that says God's principle and all that. Well, we can quote these things, these perspectives, these ideas, these words until we're blue in the face. But there's a huge difference between talking about spirit within us and really experiencing that spirit. All that spirit is, we are. To demonstrate abundance, we must be aware of it and allow it to move through us into the world. Some folks look to get their good from the outside, which is pretty much an exercise in futility. It's important to avoid limiting ourselves by not engaging in that practice. God is all the abundance we'll ever need, and it's already within each of us. Ours is just to open up and allow our gifts to come out from our buried brilliance within. And to do that, what do you think has to happen? Well, we have to stop mistaking our stories for the truth. The physical realm is the printout of our awareness, and it's no different from writing a letter on our laptop, hitting print, and then having the printer reproduce whatever is on our screen. Well, if we notice that there's a mistake when we look at the paper, correcting that printout isn't enough. We have to change what's on the computer, right? Very simple. Similarly, if there's something in our world we don't like being printed out, it's not about rearranging the players in our life, but rather we reprogram ourselves. Our experience of abundance with ease and flow is defined by our thoughts and belief programs way more than by outer circumstances. Constricting circumstances that aren't deleted from our programming will strangle our intuition and inspiration for new creation. I suggest that we live by intent rather than by default, just operating on our old programs and what we think. You know, truly, we are more than creatures of condition. We are co-creators of our conditions. And you know, life, we live in a beneficial world. We live in a beneficial universe, truly. God is always for us, not against us. And life is biased towards life. It's right to have our needs fulfilled and live in the affluent flow of abundance where our soul's yearning are joyously and spontaneously met. And the nice thing about the physical printout is that it's a direct demonstration of whether or not we've got our programming aligned with spirit within us. You know, there's another important thing. We aren't really here in this world to get. We're here to contribute. When we realize the infinite abundance of our nature, we move out of our limited perception of exclusive human identity and into the awareness of our true spiritual identity. Spirit's voice is eternally calling us to the banquet of abundance. Nothing created by the divine was ever intended for your distress. Nothing. So, just as we learn the value of creating new awareness and understanding about our beliefs around receiving, it's equally important to understand the release component. Just as not valuing ourselves blocks our inlet and devalues retention, what we call savings, the shadow side of releasing is not releasing. That's the other side. And as we've considered before over the last few weeks, many times this is based on fear and a belief that no more will ever come, and we can't let it go because this is all we're going to have. This is what we have. And you know, so many times I hear people say, I live on a fixed income. Well, where's that thought? You know, how we can fix that income, you know. You can fix it by making a new program, a new idea. Well, again, it's really highly important to recognize the divine nature of abundant good and to trust that we are always immersed in that flow. You know, there's an old saying you've heard me say before, and that is that we can't outgive God. When you're releasing, think about this, when you're releasing from an infinite source into an infinite source, then nothing can be lost or lacking, right? Only as we cut ourselves off can we experience the illusion of not enough. Now, as we become aware and bring everyday wonder to the flow of money in our lives, we see how we enact the nature of the universe. Everything is in the process of giving, retaining, and releasing. And if we're experiencing flow difficulties, it might be time to call in a consciousness plumber. Now, that would be me, a minister, or your practitioner. And that helps us clear out our stuckness. The question is, are you open to receiving and creating a greater opening? Do you care enough about yourself that you realize you deserve to keep some of that flow? You know, I love what Phil Laut says in his book, Money is My Friend. And we talked about money being our friend and loving money, and it was okay a few weeks ago. He says, if you have the ability to save regularly, it is an indication that you are at least as intelligent as the squirrel who stores away nuts for the winter. Okay? And do you trust that infinite flow enough to gratefully and joyfully release it? To rephrase that old saying, God loves a cheerful giver, receiver, and retainer. All of those are aspects of the one process of divine flow of life energy. And money is a divine idea that supports and embodies that flow. As we become at peace with the truth about money, our finances reflect that peace. The naturally abundant nature of the divine shows up everywhere in our lives. and we live in joyful participation of the divine flow. This week, I invite each of us to bring everyday wonder to the three aspects of flow in our lives. Let's just take a little bit of time daily to become conscious of our flow, our income from all streams, our retention or savings, and our release in the categories of spending and giving. You know, I've offered here during some of the prosperity classes that when we have a nice way to consider our resources is to have 10% go to whatever we would like to have it go to. 10% to savings and 10% to giving to others, for whatever that form takes. And then 70% we live on. It's a very interesting platform if we try it. And it takes a little bit of really understanding principles and living them. So as we go through the week, let's notice if any of the three ideas need to expand. Remember that the universe responds to how big we're thinking. And so we can always expand our thinking. Let's engage in this experiment and tell our subconscious mind that we are in an abundant, opulent flow of good. Tell it that we get to receive plenty, and we can retain as much as we want, and we can joyously release through spending and giving as much as we want. If our flow has been constricted, this is going to feel like a lie, right? Because when you're sitting there and you think you have nothing, and you believe you have nothing, it's pretty hard to have a thought that you do have everything, that you have more, that you're worth more, that you can have more. But this constriction dissipates as we begin to speak the truth to ourselves of our spiritual nature. So let's stand in absolute faith about that truth until it manifests. As Marianne Williamson says, the key to abundance is meeting limited circumstances with unlimited thoughts. That might be a challenge for all of us on some level, huh? Invest in your infinite abundance by engaging in the spiritual practice of contemplative thinking this week. It's one of our practices, one of our methods. And we might ask, if my flow isn't in good shape, where can it use improvement? How thoroughly do I trust the flow of the divine in my life? Do my finances reflect a deep awareness of my oneness with infinite abundance? Another one. Am I willing to forgive past experiences that I may have had to let wealth flow more into my life? You know, we might consider how much gratitude we express for that which we do have compared to how much we complain about what we don't have or think that we don't have. You know, when we're willing to be grateful and joyful around all three aspects of the flow of money in our lives, we prosper. And in the words of Lao Tzu, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. So this week, let's be joyful in the divine flow of abundance in our lives. Let's give and receive and retain with understanding that all three aspects are truly love in action as we co-create a world that works for all. And most of all, let's rest securely in the knowledge that love always prevails. And so it is. Thank you. So now it's our time to have a little bit of a prayer to put a cap on that message. Just give thanks for the opportunity to be together, to meet in freedom, to speak in freedom in our world, in this place that we live, knowing that there is only that one infinite power, that one infinite source of all that is, whatever we may call it. I'm going to call it spirit right now. I know that that abundance of spirit that flows in and through all life, that has created everything from the smallest to the largest, infinitely before, now, and later in the days to come. I know that that has also created me. I am a part of that infinite spirit. And as I know that this is true for me, I know it is true for everyone in the sanctuary, everyone in the virtual world that we're speaking with today. And everyone everywhere around the globe, all humanity, all creation is one with all that is. And so as I speak this word, I affirm that without question, that divine abundant flow that is always moving in, through, and as all creation, simply to be evidenced by the multitudes of flowers, plants, trees, grains of sand, stars in the sky, universes. That abundance, that prosperity flows in and through every life here and beyond the sound of my voice. I know that every person is fully supported, and I claim that support for each person now. I accept it and I declare it to be so. For that infinite spiritual prototype of divine perfection that is abundance and prosperity is always present in that divine flow that moves in and through every life, all creation. And so I celebrate this. I celebrate joyously as we give, we receive, as we receive, we give. And this is the law of the universe in circulation that can never, ever be stopped. Never, any more than gravity. And so in this moment, as I celebrate this, and I give such great thanks and thanksgiving, I know that when I release this word, my word, into that ever, ever creative portion of spirit, that always, always, always says, yes, my beloveds, yes, it is already done. And we may affirm it together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. And now we got a special music piece, and our wonderful folks are going to sing. This is a very beautiful piece, so pay attention to it.
You can spend your whole life building something from nothing. One storm can come and blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know it might not ever come your way. Dream it anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, doesn't always turn out like I think it should, but I do it anyway. Do it anyway. This world's gone crazy. It's hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Believe it anyway. You can love someone with all your heart for all the right reason. In a moment they can choose to walk away. Love them anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always turn out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. I do it anyway. Pour your soul out singing a song you believe in, that tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang.
Oh, that's a beautiful song, you know. So, whatever your thoughts are this week, when you have fears, when you think you can't make it, when you think things aren't turning out, do it anyway. Just do it. Live, live, live with joy in your heart and love in your heart. Now it's time for our conscious giving affirmation. Oh, we do like this part. This is when we get to give our gifts and share all of our good with our center. And you know, these gifts keep this place going. And we're so grateful. And there's a little conscious giving affirmation that we do every week. So let's take a look at that. If you'd like to take your gift, put it in your hand, in your heart. And let's say it together. My abundance is the demonstration of my spiritual growth. Let's do it again. My abundance is the demonstration of my spiritual growth. When you say these words, they're not just words on a paper or a slide. It's what you are creating. Affirmations help us create those old programs we get to take off the computer and not just erase on the page, but in what we are, in our beliefs, in who we are, and how we live. Powerful things to do. Powerful things. So whether we use the words of the Bible for our affirmations, whether we use the words of the Quran, whether we use the words of the Bhagavad Gita or any other sacred scripture, it all has that energetic of living life to the fullest with meaning. And part of that is conscious giving and sharing in that divine circulation and the reciprocal flow of the universe. And I know that as I receive these gifts, I do so knowing that they are gifts that come from the love of pure spirit that runs through each and every person who has given this gift. And for those of you who are at home, you can give on our website. You can also send a check-in if you're not one of these techie people and you don't want to do electronic things. You can just send it to our centers, Center for Spiritual Living Visalia, 117 South Locust Street, Visalia, California, 93291. And these gifts that are given from the pure love of spirit, they do good work here in our center. They do good work in our community. And they go out beyond to do good work, to co-create a world that works for all. For as each one of us lifts up our light, so do we shine brighter together than apart. And for this and so much more, I am so grateful. And so it is. And now, thank you, Kevin. That was beautiful. I love it when you play that back there. It's so nice. Yeah. You know, they do these things to me all the time that are always embarrassing and weird. Well, at least weird. All right. Don't forget Hoku.
And Hoku, sorry.
Yeah.
And Hoku will be setting off on a grand adventure as John and Janice assist to move Reverend Nan to Florida. And that's going to cost gas, and that's going to cost hotel bills, and John and Janice is airfare on the way home. So John's going to pass a bag. I just picked down, but he's got a bag. If anybody would like to donate.
I'm supposed to give this to you
And so,
in case anybody missed it.
Oh. Anybody miss it? I'm pretty loud. But John will pass the bag, and if anybody feels so inspired to donate to the trip in the way of travel funds, please do so in this bag. There's also on the back table, there is a bag full of snacks. Or I don't think it's quite full of snacks.
That's okay.
But if you have brought any snacks that you would like to give them so that they can have a wonderful trip with lots of good munchies, that's good too, and you can just put it in that bag back there. Or if you brought any treats for Hoku. We don't want to forget Hoku needs snacks too. So
Yeah, he needs snacks. I'm just hoping he'll not bark in hotels at night. He's never been out of his home overnight. So we'll see how it goes with John and Janice this afternoon, or tonight when I stay over at their house, because he may be barking there all night long. Yes, Miss Bev? I'm sorry? No, that's okay. You know, I once, one of our folks there, Bev, said that she has doggy Xanax that I can borrow, and I once had a Cocker Spaniel, and I was getting ready to take a little road trip with him. He was a delightful dog, but we gave him some of the doggy Xanax because he would bite and jump at the windshield wipers when they went back and forth, and it made him even crazier. So since that time, I have been very cautious about medicating my critters, because sometimes it doesn't always work out like we think it will. You know, I just want to say to all of you that you have been so generous. There have been people who have gifted me even before now, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and from the folks that are traveling with me. I'm so grateful that I have that company. Go ahead, you still have the mic.
And just know, even though the car is going to be very packed, from what I understand, each and every one of us are going to be in there with you.
Oh, boy, howdy, you know. I mean, this is not the end of our road by any means, you know. Just because I'm a little bit over there and y'all are a little bit over here, I'm going to be coming in on Zoom every Sunday, and I'm going to still be doing a bunch of this stuff, not just giving the talk, but I'll be doing some other things during the service that I usually do. And the board members will be your hospitality folks, the hosts of the service, so that they can open the meditation and everything, and it's going to be nice because they've all stepped up. Janice is still going to be practicing, and we've got Sonia coming in from Barbados, and she's a delight to be with us. It's wonderful. She's a virtual practitioner, and it's just wonderful to have her support during this time. So, you know, everything's going to keep on, and I'll be back. I'm going to come to visit, not to move back, because this is a large move, believe me. But I'll be back to visit probably late spring. I kind of see that as the window. So I'm looking forward to that. Are you done, Moana?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And I tell you what, I bless these gifts, and I give great thanks. And I wasn't going to cry, dang it. Never should have done the blessing. Okay. No, that's okay. I've got a hanky up here. I got a tissue. But thank you very much for your extreme generosity, both you and Leonard. So now this is the time when we come together in our circle and we do the peace song, and you can hold hands or not, whatever everybody feels comfortable in doing. And the words will be up on the screen so you can sing it. And not only will they be on the screen for us, they'll be on the screen for you at home. We gotta snuggle up here. Well, they're making their way. We got to get everybody in the circle here. Well, maybe we should switch to that. Will the circle be unbroken? You all good? We're all good. All right. Hit it, folks. Now there is peace on earth. I know it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is my joyous vow. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. All right. Now, this is the part we really look forward to on Sunday. Get ready. And I'm still going to be doing this on Zoom, so you all better be down here in a circle so that I can see you on my other screen, and then I can watch what you all are doing. Right. Never mind this fooling around thinking you can get away with stuff when I'm not here in the middle of the floor. Ready? All right. So if you're ready and you feel like it, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through my life right now.
Something wonderful is happening through my life right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Now, it's in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
And it's in my body.
It's in my body.
Oh, and it's in the body of my affairs.
It's in the body of my affairs.
And I think it.
I think it.
All of them. I think it.
I think it.
And I feel it. And I love it.
And I love it.
Oh, I love it just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
And with great gratitude, we say, thank you, life. Have a wonderful week, everybody. I'll see you on the 13th of November. And y'all behave, you hear? Now.
The best things in life are free. You can give it to the birds and the bees. I need the money. That's what I want. 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 Your love gives me such a thrill, but your loving don't pay my bills. I need the money. That's what I want. 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 That's what I want.
Don't get everything, it's true. What it don't get, I can't use. I need money.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
That's
That's what I want.
what I want.
Oh, money.
That's what I want.
Oh, lots of money.
What I want.
Oh, lots of money.
What I want. That's what I want.
All I want.
That's what I want.
That's what I
That's
want.
what I want.
Money.
What I want. Lots of money. What I want. All those things green. That's what I want. What I want. What I want.
That's what I want.
That's what I want. Yeah.
But I have to meet with Miss Gwen about it, which you actually should be in because you probably don't do background.